And we are back with the GSMC Wrestling Laureate Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your favorite wrestling fan here, Eric Rodriguez, every Monday through Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Here to talk about the greatest thing in the world, professional wrestling, all the action inside and outside of the ring, backstage curtain calls, rumors, dramas, updates. We talk about contract negotiations, extensions, and new signings, injuries from superstars, and active statuses. For promotions like WWE to AEW to TNA to Ring of Honor, we make it, if it makes major news in the world of professional wrestling, we talk about it here on this show 1010%. All right, so kind of reflect on what we talked about right quick. We did talk about SmackDown. Make sure you guys check that video out. And now we're going to talk about some AEW Maximum Carnage. But before we do any of that, I just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit up that tips and donations link. Make sure you guys feel absolutely comfortable to participate in the live shows. Obviously, if you watch the videos on YouTube on the GSMC Sports Network or the GSMC Podcasting Network, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe. Also, feel comfortable to comment on drop your hot takes inside that comment section, and we will get back to you guys ASAP. We just want to make sure you guys feel like you're part of the show. Don't be shy. Drop your thoughts inside that chat. And if you really want to make sure that your chats get noticed, especially when we do it live, make sure you guys hit up that super chat. It's a great way to support the channel. Make sure the GSMC Podcasting Network, the GSMC Sports Network, keeps bringing you guys good, positive sports vibe, unbiased. Professional wrestling's a little different because, there are heels, there are baby faces. So, in terms of like regular sports, wrestling is regular sports. So, you know what? I'll just put my foot in my mouth, and I'm just gonna end it here. We make sure that we keep the content coming at you guys 24/7, not 24/7, but on a day-to-day basis. We are super grateful for each and every one of you guys who joins us here daily on the GSMC Sports Network. So make sure you guys, Superman punch that like and subscribe button, follow the show, follow the network. So let's keep the conversation going, guys. Send in those super chats, those super stickers, because you guys are super awesome, and together we will make sure this podcast is bigger, better, and stronger than ever. Once again, the super chat and your thing, tips and donations link works just as well. So all right, so without further ado, let's go and move on to some AEW Maximum Carnage review. I thought it was a good show. I thought it was a really, really good show. Recently you've had Kenny Omega and Adam Copeland come back, something that I feel like AEW definitely needed to spark some kind of new storyline, because Adam Copeland, the moment he returned to AEW, now he's in a storyline. He's working with the Death Riders, Jon Moxley, Pac, Claudio Castagnoli, Marina Shafir. So that's a good spot for him. And obviously you've seen Kenny Omega feud with with Okada, and now with this whole with Will Ospreay as well. But it's going to be good. This, like I said, overall, this was decent. All right, so at the Brady Music Center in Cincinnati, Ohio, I got to be honest, I do love the fact that they moved to a smaller venue. I like it. And I saw the All In Texas sign, kind of like what WWE does when you point to that, and like WrestleMania and stuff like that. Still, they're starting to advertise pretty early. Well, not too early. It's not that. I guess better early than too late. Make sure you want to drive up them ticket sales. It was It was cool to see Taz come back. Was waiting for him to eventually, waiting for him to get back from injury. I don't think he's going to be part of any storylines moving forward. But, we did see an interesting spot with Hook. But, we'll get into that a little later. All right, so we have Brian Cage going up against Kenny Omega, his in-ring return on Dynamite. It was good. It was good. But I did feel like they... Kenny Omega, he's been injured for quite some time. All of 2024, I believe. Yeah, and all of 2024, I feel like they grabbed it all, and then they just, they just condensed it into one match. Like there was, there was blood, there was weapons, there was the all hope is lost for the hero moment, and then he came back. So I did feel like, it was a good Kenny Omega match. He puts on great matches. But this one felt like they were like, okay, you've missed so much since you've been out. Let's go ahead and help, make you catch up. So, I thought that was pretty interesting. Will Ospreay comes out to help out Kenny Omega. The Don Callis family are not too fond of Kenny. You saw Lance Archer, then you saw Kyle Fletcher, and then, not Roosh. Oh, the AEW International Champion, Konosuke Takeshita. He came out. When he came out, he was kicking ass. He was taking names. But Will Ospreay, former foe of Omega, helping him out. I thought that was actually pretty damn cool. But at the end, the Don Callis family walks tall. Definitely 1,010%. And then I noticed Tony Schiavone. I think he made a mistake when he was talking about the AEW International standing tall with Will Ospreay. And I was like, what is he doing? Like, I could have misheard it, 1,010%. But I was kind of like, Will Ospreay's not really standing tall right now, man. Like, I don't know. It was interesting. It was interesting. All right, Ricochet comes out. I definitely do believe that he will be a part of the Hurt Syndicate. You have the golden scissors. He had the golden scissors in his pocket. Like gold. I think, MVP, Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin. And WWE, obviously, with Cedric Alexander. Swerve came out, runs Ricochet out of the building. I thought that was, you saw the snow and everything. Swerve Strickland comes back, and Swerve Strickland still got it. Since he lost the AEW the World Heavyweight Championship. His bookings have been, it's been all right. I loved the booking with the Hangman Adam Page. I thought that was pretty badass. Needed a new storyline. The Hurt Business approach him. MVP, hey man, take my card. You're gonna regret it if you don't. And then that was him against Bobby. Bobby, his match at AEW. What was it? Was it? No, was it? Damn it! I can't think of the pay-per-view name. But he's getting to work with Ricochet. I like it because I feel like Swerve Strickland isn't your average world, heavyweight class. He can jump off some stuff as well. Like, he can definitely hang in with the speed of Ricochet, and Ricochet's just kind of like out of this world amazing. But it would be interesting to kind of see if maybe you find Samantha Irving somewhat gets involved. Maybe she unveils herself as a manager, because that's the reason why she didn't like WWE's, because they made her a ring announcer. She's always kind of wanted to be in the storyline and kind of be like a manager figure. Also, she could definitely be a manager for the Hurt Business as well. That could definitely be in the mix. Also, with Samantha Irving's musical recording artist background, Swerve Strickland, he was a former recording artist. I think he runs his own podcast, I believe. It'd be interesting to kind of see, like, maybe he tries to dap her up or something. Maybe. Just maybe. And then, like, this whole thing goes down. And, if Samantha Irving enters AEW, I feel like that would be a huge bombshell for wrestling fans. Because especially after everything down with WWE, it was told that, Ricochet wasn't the reason for Samantha Irving's exit. And then later on we find out it kind of did nudge her a little bit. And then, oh no, she wasn't unhappy with WWE. Later to find out that she did have some problems with her WWE assignment or character or whatever. And, if she joins AEW, that would be pretty crazy. That'd be pretty crazy cool. But, all speculations. Mercedes Moné, she was successful, at AEW Dynasty. I think in New Japan Professional Wrestling, when they run those, Worlds Collide, pay-per-views or PLEs. Mercedes Moné racking up all the gold. I got to be honest, I don't hate it, but I kind of do hate it because she's taking all the titles. I feel like it would have been awesome to have Mina Shirakawa be a part of AEW more by winning that TBS championship. People love Mina. I feel like she's great inside the ring. She has a great presence. She cuts decent promos. She does cut decent promos. Mercedes Moné, she's winning too damn much, man. She's so successful. She made comments about being the best women's professional wrestler in the world, and then I feel like Tony Khan is just kind of throwing money at that ego, just having that be invested, championship after championship. I think she has 4 now. Sheesh, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. The Hurt Syndicate takes on Private Party and Mark Briscoe. Um, it was crazy. It was a Briscoe match. I love Briscoe matches. Lashley and Benjamin eyeing the tag team titles. I think it was Tony Schiavone who said it. I don't think that. I don't feel like that would be a downgrade for Bobby because I had high hopes that Bobby was going to insert himself into the world title picture, and then someone like Ricochet and Shelton Benjamin could go after those AEW World Tag Team Championships. But then you had the tag team champions, Private Party, and AEW made them kind of look like chumps. They couldn't really hang in the ring with Shelton Benjamin. If they weren't the champions, I would damn near think to myself that I was like, oh, this looks like a squash match or a match like, hey, make the Hurt Syndicate look absolutely, unstoppable. You've seen Private Party dethrone the EVPs, Matthew Nicholas Jackson, the Young Bucks for those AEW World Tag Team Championships. And, just to kind of throw them in the buzzard of, having them be like, okay, now you're going to lose it to the Hurt Syndicate. Like, I don't know. I don't think that would be such a good idea, So I was a little interested in this match. I was a little, on the fence about it, but it did provide some damn near good entertainment. So it is what it is. MJF approaching, Jeff Jarrett, saying that Jeff Jarrett is the pro wrestling Rim Reaper. Obviously, bringing up, he's been in it all. He's really been in it all. WWF, WCW, WWE, ran TNA for quite some time. And, just Jeff Jarrett still seems adamant about becoming AEW World Championship. And then as soon as MJF started talking Owen Hart, that's when it started. The fist started flying. This is going to be a pretty good match in the future. And I feel like probably at their next big event, that'll probably happen. Hook against Christian, disqualification. Hook was able to win via disqualifications. The Patriarchy come out to attack him. Samoa Joe's back. Another person who came back recently. He didn't come alone. He came with Katsuyori Shibata. Obviously, those three with the addition of Hook. They were a nice little trios group for quite some time. But now it's going to be interesting to kind of see with the odds even. What are they going to do with Hook's with this character? I personally thought it would have been interesting to see him like join the Death Riders. But Samoa Joe's back. Katsuyori Shibata's back, and it seems like Samoa Joe is kind of embracing that babyface, overall just that babyface aura. So we had the Women's Casino Gauntlet match. Mariah May, the AEW World Women's Champion, was sitting ringside. Jamie Hayter and Chris Statlander started off. Julia Hart came out. Willow Nightingale, Megan Bayne, Toni Storm, Harley Cameron, and then of course, Toni Storm won. No timeless gimmick. I thought that was interesting, but new, rebrand. We heard that Toni Storm wasn't going to be with AEW. She was reportedly quit, but then she came back and, which kind of knew, I kind of thought it was kayfabe. So now she has a shot at that Women's World Championship again. And Mariah May, and, not trying to throw anything at Mariah May because I feel like overall it's the Tony Khan's decision or AEW's creative decision to just be like, all right, let's just throw all the belts and success one way. Mercedes Moné, not give any of these girls a piece of the pie. And I feel like the women's division's suffering from it. And it provided that I hardly watch Collision or Rampage, but I don't know, on Dynamite it doesn't really seem like they get a lot of attention. We have the main event. We have Powerhouse Hobbs, who won the men's Casino Gauntlet match. We saw him win, and now he takes on Jon Moxley. Hobbs was, it was a good match. It seemed like, Powerhouse Hobbs, he's a powerhouse. It seemed like he was going to be unmatched. But Jon Moxley was able to, and that's the great thing about, what Mox can do inside that ring is he can literally make, the biggest, tallest person feel equal. There's no such thing as like a David Goliath match in terms of, taking on Jon Moxley. Then you saw the attack on Powerhouse Hobbs, trying to take out his leg. And then Rated RTR comes out, and then bam, that's the end of the show. Like I said, overall, it was a good episode of AEW. I feel like they're getting better, and I feel like with the addition of, with Samoa Joe coming back, Kenny Omega, also, Adam Copeland coming back, and I feel like it's feel like it's only going to get better and better and better. I feel like AEW is going to have a huge year this year. I have a feeling. All right, guys, so do not go anywhere. We're going to jump on into our next segment. We got WWE TNA announced their partnership last week. We're going to dig in. We're going to dig into that when we come back. So grab your favorite snack, grab your favorite ice cold beverage, and join me here in about 20 seconds. So, hey, do not go anywhere.